Hey, y'all doing out there? It's your favorite redacted, pissed off Steeler fan coming at you with another video about this fucking game. And the game isn't even over yet. Still a minute 43 left with the Chiefs up 42-21, but I figured I'd make this video and get it out of the way. Bottom line, the Steelers fucking suck. Now, I knew we weren't going to win this game, but I thought we would actually maybe put up a bit of a fight. And to the defense's credit, in the first quarter, we did. I mean, shit, there's only a matter of time before the Kansas City Chiefs are the Kansas City Chiefs, okay? The offense was absolutely terrible, and of course, Ben just got sacked again. Why the hell not? But this offense, I have never seen a worse offense in my life. I'm not even going to go through stats because I don't care about stats. I'm just here to complain about this team. I have never seen a more one-dimensional, completely predictable offense than this. Matt Canada knows absolutely nothing about how to scheme a professional offense. He's literally calling plays that you would run in a Pee-wee game. Pop Warner shit. I mean, he can't even scheme a high school level offense. This is terrible. And the defense, I mean, let's face it, outside of TJ Watt, this defense has all season been mediocre as all hell. I mean, the offense has been abysmal. This is one of the worst offenses I have ever seen in my 30-plus years of watching football for any team. The Steelers, they're by far the worst team to ever make the playoffs. They did not deserve to be in the playoffs. And the Eagles and the Steelers are both probably going to make the NFL rethink that whole 7th playoff team horse shit. Because neither one of the teams clearly deserve to be there. Pittsburgh did not deserve it. They are terrible. And of course, Mike Tomlin, once again, another winning season or non-losing season. That's coming to an end next year because Tomlin's going to be outed as the fraud that he is when he doesn't have Ben Roethlisberger bailing him out more often than not. So, this team has got so many holes. I don't even know what they can do because they have cap space, but they're not going to get this. They're not going to get any free agents to play for this team. No one wants to come to this shit show. This team is completely just, I mean, if you look now, they're scoring points and driving down the field, but this is garbage time. And I see people on Twitter talk about, where's this been all game? I'll tell you where it's been. It's been on the damn bench because fucking Kansas City, see, I'm all kinds of kerfuffled. I'm so pissed off. The Chiefs are playing a prevent defense and a soft defense at that, where the lanes are open. It's just like last year against Cleveland. Once the game's out of hand, the defenses, they don't really pressure that much. And it gives a guy like Ben, a chance to throw the ball, make some plays. But let's be honest here. Hopefully Ben Roethlisberger has 11 seconds left in his career. There's still a part of me that believes he's going to change his mind once he sits back and really chills. I've already made a video about that. But once he thinks about it, he's probably not going to like how this year ended. And he's going to end up coming back, which is just another thing that's holding his team back. Roethlisberger, his arm is dead, okay? Before that, we were running these garbage time plays, and of course, so the game is over. Roethlisberger's career is over. Bye-bye, motherfucker. Leave. Go ahead. You suck. You've sucked the last 3 fucking years. And I don't care what his stat line is in this game. Before the Chiefs started running a prevent, he was horrible. And, I mean, he doesn't get much help from this shitty-ass offensive line. And Trey Turner is the worst goddamn offensive lineman I have ever seen. I have never seen a worse offensive lineman than Trey Turner. That dude is just complete ass. And the rest of the offensive line isn't much better. Our receivers can't catch a ball. Deontay Johnson all of a sudden reverted back to his form last year of the last few weeks, dropping easy fucking passes. And Juju didn't do a whole lot, so his return was completely for nothing. And I'm convinced he only came back because he was hoping to have a big game to help his status for a big contract next year. So he didn't, which means he's probably going to sign another 1-year deal with Pittsburgh. Yippee, more Juju antics. I don't like Juju, and I don't care if people don't like the fact that I don't like Juju. Don't like the guy. So this team sucks. The offense is horrible. The defense outside of TJ Watt, and okay, maybe Cam Hayward. You take those two out of the equation, this defense at best is mediocre. Matt Canada is the worst offensive coordinator I've ever seen in my life. He is just fucking trash. He doesn't know how to call plays. He doesn't know how to scheme. And I don't know why we were throwing so much early on when you had Najee Harris. He was getting yards. And I'll go into more in depth on this stuff in a couple of weeks once I've gotten over this loss. And like I said, I didn't think we were going to win, but I was hoping we'd put up a little bit more of a fight. But the defense did all they could, but it was only a matter of time before Patrick Mahomes did Patrick Mahomes shit. I mean, you're not going to keep this team bottled up for very long, so the offense needed to do something, and it didn't do shit till the game was already over. What was it, 35-7 before we even scored a damn offensive touchdown? They didn't. I think at one time, I'd have to look at it and check out the stats, but I think they had at one time more touchdowns than we had first downs. There's a problem there. And a lot of it had to do with the fact that Najee Harris was actually getting yards and churning out those tough 4 or 5 yard runs, and then we tried to throw the ball, and of course it would be fucking dropped, or Ben on a 3rd and short would try to throw a deep pass that was either horribly overthrown or horribly underthrown because his arm is so goddamn dead. Like I said, Ben needs to retire because his arm is so dead. He's so done. He's finished. He's washed up. He can't move in the pocket. He can't do shit. Now, I don't really give a damn if it's Mason Rudolph or anybody. Just someone else needs to start for this team next year because it's time to move on. And it doesn't matter who starts for this team next year because this Steelers team is at least 3 years away from being a competitive team. I don't see this team winning more than 5 games next year, whether Ben comes back or not. It's complete fucking trash. No free agents are going to want to come and play for this team. Mike Tomlin is totally overrated. He needs to be fired, but he never goddamn will. And I'm sure in a couple of weeks, Art Rooney will say something to the tune was like, well, I thought the Steelers played pretty well, sort of like last year when his dumb, senile old ass said that he didn't believe the Steelers came out flat in that playoff game against the Browns. Well, what game were you watching, dude? Did you fucking just get some apple juice and some jello and fall asleep, you geriatric motherfucker? Fucking Rooney's need to sell the team because this team died with Dan Rooney because Art Rooney don't know his ass from his fucking elbow. And I honestly don't care if this pisses people off. This team fucking sucks. They have no heart whatsoever. They have nothing. There's no discipline on this fucking team. There's nothing on this team. And Mike Tomlin just stands there with his bug-ass fucking eyes jumping out of his ginormous-ass fucking forehead talking about, and then he'll talk about the standard is the standard and, all this bullshit cliche crap that's the only thing he knows how to do. He's sitting there when he's staring there chomping his gum and his eyes bulging out of his head when his team is down by 30 points. You can tell he's rehearsing in his head all the lame cliches he's going to spout off at the post-game press conference. And I've said it before and I'll say it again. This team right now, the standard is mediocrity. They're not good, okay? They may have had a winning record this year, but this team is bad. Our division was ass. Okay, the AFC is shit. That's why we made the playoffs. And trust me, this team didn't deserve to make the playoffs. They did not belong anywhere near the same field as the Kansas City Chiefs. They don't even belong on the field cleaning it up after the fucking game is over. This team is so bad, and it's so pathetic to watch. And Roethlisberger he just needs to go away with his possibly fake-ass marriage and fake family and all that stuff. He needs to go away. I'm tired of looking at him, too. I'm tired of seeing his fat, out-of-shape ass try to move in the pocket and looking like a goddamn slug. It's time to go. We need to draft a quarterback or whatever. But, of course, knowing this fucking team, they'll probably trade for someone like Jimmy goddamn Garoppolo or something. So, yeah, let's just do that. And bringing Dwayne Haskins back, which... What the hell is that going to do? I mean, he wasn't good enough to even dress for a game this year, so evidently he's not the answer. And Mason Rudolph isn't the answer either, but I would rather see Mason Rudolph under center next year than Ben. I know. And I've said in the last video that he's really the best option we have. And that may be true. I still believe he is the best option for Pittsburgh because they're not going to get any of the free agents. They're not going to trade for a good quarterback. And none of the quarterbacks that you can draft are going to be ready for at least 2 or 3 years. So he is the best option, especially if the reports that Matt Ryan is not leaving Atlanta. They're not planning on parting with him. So he is the best option, but still, I don't really care. I'd rather this team go through a 3 or 4 seasons where they win less than 5 games a season to get some draft picks So maybe we can build this team back up, because this team needs help on defense. They need help on offense. Of course, with whatever draft picks we have, I'm sure we'll draft another punter, because that's what we do. I mean, I don't know. Mike Tomlin's probably the only coach in NFL history to actually draft 2 punters in his coaching career. Both of them were garbage. Daniel Sepulveda, I believe that was his first year as a coach. He drafted Sepulveda, and Presley Harvin, whatever the hell his name is. I don't care. He sucks. I don't bother learning his name, because the dude they cut to make room for Juju is actually a way better punter. And of course, you can't cut Harvin, because then you got to justify the draft pick, because you're dumb enough to draft a punter to begin with. So I'd like to see Mike Tomlin get fired. Hopefully he resigns when Ben leaves, because I think Tomlin knows that Roethlisberger is the reason why he's had so much success. It has nothing to do with his coaching, because if you've seen his coaching is terrible. He doesn't know what the hell he's doing. And the people always talk about Mike Tomlin. He was this defensive guru and everything before he was a Steelers coach, and his defense is his forte. No, it's not. His defensive history as a defensive coach came when he was named the defensive backs coach of Tampa Bay, when Tampa Bay's defense was already recognized as one of the best in the NFL, and they had 2 members of that secondary that were Hall of Famers, in John Lynch and Rondé Barber in the future. So that was a real difficult job to do as a defensive backs coach. And of course, he rode their dicks to 1 year as a defensive coordinator in Minnesota, where they had, I believe, I don't know I can't remember off the top of my head if it was the worst pass defense or the worst run defense. I'm pretty sure it was the worst pass defense in the NFL they had. It was the middle of the pack, and of course, he was able to get the job in Pittsburgh, and that's a whole another story for another matter. And there's Ben going up the tunnel, hopefully for the last time, because this guy can't complete a 5-yard pass. He can't, and we made the playoffs, and we won that game last week. Did you see how bad that 4th down throw was to Ray caught? I mean, my God, he can't even throw a pass 8 yards downfield without throwing it at his feet. So Ben is done. This team is done. This team didn't deserve to be in the playoffs. They are an embarrassment. They don't belong on the same field as any of these goddamn teams. And I knew they weren't going to win, but I was hoping they would put up a fight. And the defense did what they could, but I mean, by the second quarter, the defense was exhausted because the offense had done absolutely nothing. The offense going 3 and out, dropping passes. Deontay Johnson dropping passes. I'd say cut his ass too. Let Juju go. And Claypool sucks. This whole team just sucks, man. Like I said, I'm jumping all over the place. I may have a more in-depth video at some other point in a few weeks when I'm over this stuff. Because, like I said, I'll reiterate again. I knew we weren't going to win this game. I knew we had no chance in hell at winning this game. But I was hoping we would make it a little closer than it was a few weeks ago in Kansas City when they destroyed us. But pretty much the same outcome. It just shows how bad this team is. How far this team has fallen. They're terrible. I mean, they cannot compete with the NFL's elite. They can't even compete with the middle of the pack teams in the NFL. This team is probably top 5 or 6 worst teams in the NFL. And they're definitely the worst team to make the playoffs. And people can say that Philadelphia got steamrolled today, makes them pretty bad too. And yeah, they're bad, but I guarantee you right now, if the Philly team played this Pittsburgh team, Philly would win by 3 touchdowns minimum. And we would literally make Jalen Hurts look like the next coming of Randall fucking Cunningham or Donovan McNabb. That's how bad this team is. So, like I said, I'll have another in-depth video on what I think we should do in the offseason later on once I get this loss out of my system. But I just wanted to kind of vent and bitch about it. So, but let me know in the comments what you think. Well, you think I'm wrong or right, or think I'm being too hard on them or whatever, because, they got their participation trophy, so I guess everything's good, but, let me know what you think. But honestly, you're not going to convince me that this team's any good, but you can sure as hell give it a try. But again, if you like the video, hit that subscribe button, and you're going to have future content. I probably won't be as bitchy the next time, but I hate this team. I hate Mike Tomlin. I hate Ben Roethlisberger. I hate the ownership. I hate the front office. Kevin Colbert's gone. Good riddance to your stupid ass. You're most useless person anyway. I don't care what people say. Kevin Colbert is he's garbage. Tomlin's garbage. Butler's garbage. Canada's garbage. Roethlisberger's garbage. The offensive line's garbage. The defense outside of a couple players garbage. This whole team sucks. So I'm hoping this team the people need to quit thinking this team is good, because it's not. Get it through your head, people. This team sucks, okay? And, of course, I'm not a real fan because I'm pointing out how bad this team sucks. But, so whatever. I don't really care. But let me know in the comments what you think of this game, what you think the Steelers ought to do. And again, I thank you for watching, and I'll catch you all in a video at another time. Have a good night.